Welcome to the Dropout Multimillionaire Podcast, where we talk about tactical business strategy, building high-performance sales teams, and growing your business. If you're ready to break free from the status quo and join the ranks of the Mavericks, the Rebels, and the Renegades who refuse to conform and instead build multi-million-dollar businesses, then buckle up, because here we go. Welcome back to this episode of the Dropout Multimillionaire Podcast. I am your host, Brian Will. This podcast is based on my best-selling book, The Dropout Multimillionaire. However, in today's episode, we're going to start a series on my new book. The new book comes out May 15th, 2023, and it is called No, as in N-O, No, The Psychology of Sales and Negotiation, 40 Lessons in Negotiation from a Street Smart Negotiator. Now, today's episode is primarily going to be the setup for the next upcoming series on lessons that you can put into practice literally as soon as you learn them. And it's funny, the title of this book has been sitting on my computer for 22 years. I looked at it the other day. I started this title in 2001 when I had launched a sales organization in the health insurance field. Finally decided to finish writing it as part of a new mastermind and business coaching program that I'm launching. And that's going to be called the Force Multiplier Mastermind. It's tactical business strategy to help entrepreneurs build their business. Over the last 25 years, I have taught sales and negotiation to probably well over 1,000 salespeople and trainers. And this book, and in fact, this series of podcasts, is really trying to capture some of the highlights of those training courses. Now, I wrote this book for two types of people. I wrote it for salespeople and sales trainers. Although I would submit to you that most things in life are actually about sales and negotiation. We were joking about this last night. We were sitting out at a restaurant. Dating, definitely sales and negotiation. Relationships, if it's not sales, it's definitely negotiation. If you're working at a job or you're managing employees, again, at some level, it's about sales and negotiation. For now, however, we're going to focus on salespeople and trainers. So I do want to start out by saying the first rule that you need to understand is that sales and negotiation are actually the same thing. Every single sale you make is a mini negotiation. In fact, if you're not negotiating price, you're negotiating with the customer on if they will or will not buy from you. In either case, however, you need to understand the psychology behind what your client is thinking and how they are reacting or how they are going to react in order for you to win that sales or that negotiation. So the new book dives into this topic at length, right? So I do want to clarify something before we go on. This book in this series is not about theory. It's not fluff. These techniques were actually forged in what I call the heat of battle in sales organizations all over the country. I personally lived and breathed everything I'm telling you. I started out as a salesperson on the street, door to door, face to face. I went into a call center and I worked as a call center agent. I built my own sales organizations. I've taught my own salespeople and then taught these techniques to sales organizations for multi-billion-dollar public and private companies. My sales techniques have sold billions of dollars in sales, and they absolutely will work if you follow them. Now, that does not mean that they are the only sales techniques that work. There are others, but I'm telling you that these lessons that I will teach you are extremely effective of selling without being what I call, and I hate, cheesy closers or slammers, right? I am not going to teach you how to manipulate people into doing something that they don't want to do. That never works long-term. This is not hardcore. This is what I call professional soft sell. We use human nature and psychology and the power of the right words in the right places to move people where we want them to go. I will tell you this, the book and this series will make you better if you will learn it. I also want to say this. If you can learn to become really good at sales, you will never be without a job. You will never go hungry. Every company in the world has a sales team, and every company in the world is looking for good salespeople. Sales is the heart and soul of any business. Without sales, in fact, business goes out of business. If you can learn to sell, you will always be able to find a job. Everyone will need you. Successful companies need better salespeople. Companies that aren't successful clearly need better salespeople. You don't need an education. You don't need experience in a particular product line. Product knowledge can be learned very quickly. What you do need to succeed and make a lot of money is an ability to sell. It's an ability to move people, to make things happen. And this is what I can teach you. This is a skill set that you can learn if you're willing to listen and if you're willing to learn. So today's number one lesson in negotiation is this. Every sale, no matter how big or small, is a negotiation. If you're going to be an effective negotiator, you need to learn the psychology behind what your clients are thinking. You need to learn to be a good negotiator before you come up against a good negotiator. Because if you don't, they will absolutely eat your lunch. So that's the setup. The next set of podcasts will be on individual lessons. If you want to learn more, you can get a copy of both of my books. The first one is called The Dropout Multimillionaire, 37 Lessons in Business on How to Succeed with No Money, No Education, and No Clue. And the new book is called No, The Psychology of Sales and Negotiation. And it's 40 lessons in negotiation from a street smart negotiator. You can find all this at www.brianwillmedia.com. Everything is there. Books, podcasts, my blogs. And finally, if you want to learn more about joining the Force Multiplier Mastermind and or my business coaching program, go to the website and drop me a note. My coaching is very tactical in nature. No theory, no fluff. This is where we break down your business and show you how to make it and you better. That's it for today. Come back for the next episode, the Dropout Multimillionaire Podcast. I hope you enjoyed this episode. And if you would like to get more information on either of my books, joining the Force Multiplier Mastermind, or my one-on-one coaching programs, you can find me at www.brianwillmedia.com.